Hello and welcome to my Esky channel. Welcome to Paulette and Faith. Thank you for joining me, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Simone. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah,
Welcome.
happy to be here.
Fantastic. So my channel was started to be able to empower, to share, to connect, to inform, and to engage, hence the acronym Esky. And that leads us rather nicely to the topic for today, which is navigating life. And the anthology series, which is due to be launched on the 31st of July. I have here two amazing book authors who have contributed to that book anthology, of which I am one of them. And we have all been on this incredible journey, on the platform which is called Evolve. And out of Evolve came this idea for women to write a chapter talking about a period in their lives when they navigated something that was quite traumatic, but most importantly, how they were able to navigate their way out of that period and turn trial into triumph. So without further ado, I will start with you, Faith. How did you come across the Evolve platform?
Oh, thank you, Simone. Thank you for having me here today. So the Evolve platform was introduced to me by a friend whom, believe it or not, I haven't met her. We go to the same church. So I've met her on Zoom, so not met her in person, but she's the one who introduced me to this platform.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah,
Wow.
amazing.
And I guess what then inspired you to get involved once the Navigating Life anthology was announced? What inspired you to get involved with that project?
So again, with this, it was because of how it was presented to us in such an easy way. I've always thought I'd be a writer, but never thought I could do it. So it was introduced to us in a way that it was so simple. They made it look so easy to do. So that's why I joined it and did it.
The opportunity was too good to pass, right?
It was Simone. It was so good. Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. Paulette, how
Yeah.
how did you come across the Evolve platform?
Well, my story is very similar to Faith because it's one of my church sisters who I do know and I have met. And she sent me the details. And out of curiosity, I logged on one Saturday morning and I have not stopped logging on.
It's kind of addictive.
That was in January, actually, 2021. January
Oh wow.
2021. Yeah, I haven't stopped. Mm.
Amazing, amazing. So then what inspired you once the anthology series was announced? What inspired you to actually write and contribute to the book?
Well, the way Claudine, who's the host on Navigating Life, she basically said, "Oh, we're going to do an anthology." And at first, my mind thought poem, but then she explains a story and tell a story of a time when you navigated life, whether it's in the past or in the present, but it must end in hope. And I thought, well, maybe my story would qualify. I wasn't sure, but I thought I'd give it a try.
Fantastic. Wow. So once you then got started and you gave it a try, as you say, were there any bits that you found challenging during that process?
For me,
That's
um,
for you,
the
Paulette. Yeah.
beginning, the beginning, starting was a problem because once I'd committed myself, then all the doubts came in. You're not going to remember. It's not going to be interesting. You're not going to be able to come up with 3,000 words. So the doubts started coming in. But I had made a commitment and I thought, well, I'm going to try. And I started writing and the words started flowing. So
Wow.
you know the starting was my biggest issue.
I hear you. Wow. Wow. Paulette, you seem to have frozen there. I don't know if you can see us okay.
Yes, I can see you both and I can hear you.
That's good.
I seem to be all right on my screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The audio is coming through okay. I can hear you loud and clear, but it was just frozen for a moment. But we'll press on anyway.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Faith, I mean, when you
Yes.
started, when you decided that you were going to contribute, was there anything that you found challenging, particularly maybe difficult about the whole process?
Okay, so unlike Paulette, my start was a breeze, but it's got to a point where I thought, oh, I cannot fit 3,000 words in this story. It's got to be more. So there was a lot of chopping, and also just having to relive the whole moment of my story. That was challenging, but I had to push through because I knew I had a message that I need to deliver. Yeah.
Mm, mm.
Yeah.
And you talk about that story, Faith. I mean, is it possible to get just a little snippet of what that story might entail, just so our readers are suitably tantalized?
Yes, so the story is about navigating the loss of my mum, which unfortunately happened about 2 years ago. It has been a journey. I'm still on it. But yes, so it's hoping that the message that would come across to people who are going through bereavement or any loss of a loved one who would be able to get something from my story that would help them, something that I didn't have. Hopefully, through reading my story, they would get that sort of help.
Mm, mm.
Yeah,
And like I say, I'm really sorry for your loss.
thank you.
And it's good to see that you've been able to navigate what must have been a really difficult period, because we all know that bond between mother and daughter is quite a special one.
Yeah,
So it's good you've been able
yeah,
to
yeah.
exploit this avenue to express, and hopefully what you've shared in your story will be a blessing to others. So well done.
Mm,
Well done.
thank you.
Paulette, is it
Mm.
possible, can we ask for maybe a snippet of your story perhaps, so we can get our viewers wanting more?
Okay, I'll give you just a little snippet of it. Okay.
Excellent.
Shouldn't the world stop just for a second, or a moment even, to express its acknowledgement of this momentous, life-changing occurrence? I stepped out of my front door on a crisp, clear, spring-like February afternoon, appropriately dressed for the occasion in a calf-length black dress caught on a bias. Now, what was the occasion, you might ask me? Read
Oh,
the
So
book.
good.
talk
Mm,
about a cliffhanger,
yeah,
Paulette.
yeah.
Wow.
Read the
So,
book, and I hope it will be a blessing and an encouragement.
mm,
Indeed.
mm,
Amen.
amen.
That word hope, I mean, I love it. I think there was a famous author who entitled his book The Audacity of Hope. Some guy called Barack
Mm,
Obama,
yes.
President of America.
Mm,
And I've always loved that title, are we so audacious as to hope?
mm,
But really,
mm,
with this anthology series, that's what it's given us, the authors, an opportunity to become ambassadors of hope. So if there was one key message that you wanted to leave with your readers, Paulette, what would that be?
Oh, never give up. Never give up. When you're going through, that may sound like a cliche, but I am here to encourage anybody going through something similar to what I went through. When you read the story, you'll find out, or when you read any of the 29 stories in both anthologies, and it's don't give up. There's always hope. Just one little slither of hope is all it takes to put us through. Sometimes the hope will come through others coming alongside us.
Mm,
You're not alone.
mm,
Help is there. So just keep hanging on to hope.
Absolutely. I like that. Without hope, I mean, it's the essence of life, isn't it?
It is.
Really.
Without hope, why carry on? So
Mm.
that's why it is such a powerful message through even in our names. We've been titled Ambassador of Hope, and how
Mm.
more powerful can you get?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's a privilege to be
It is.
one.
It's truly humbling. It's
Uh,
truly,
uh, along with you, Simone, and you, Faith, it's an absolute
Yeah,
privilege at
it
this
is.
time, in
mm,
this season of so much turmoil and uncertainty, to be an
mm,
ambassador of hope, even as we go through our challenges too.
indeed, indeed. I like that.
Mm.
So true.
Good.
Faith, Faith, what do you think? Again, with your story, such a difficult, dark period in your life, and obviously you've navigated how, as an ambassador of hope now, how, what sort of message do you want to leave with your reader? How is it you think they can benefit from your story?
Yes. So again, just like Paulette said, there's seasons of life. Just like we have seasons in real life where you have autumn, you have winter. We prepare ourselves in winter in that we wear warm clothes. We know to heat up our houses. You cannot really prepare for hardship or bereavement or pain, but having that connection, people around you who would help you while you're going that will just make that life a little bit easier for you. And being able to look back with the pain and not feeling it draining you and propelling you to the future, that's hope. And that's hopefully the message that will come across with all the 29 authors.
Indeed, indeed. I like
Mhm.
that. I really like that. If I were to
Mhm.
take you back, Faith, to a moment in time, and I know it's a painful period where you were trying to navigate the loss of your mum and deal with life at the same time, as Paulette said, shouldn't the world stop?
Mhm.
We've all been there. This is why we decided to write and share, where things have gotten so unbearable. You just feel like, surely, can somebody just give me a break so I can just catch up with myself?
Mhm.
If somebody had said to you at that point, Faith, you will be sharing your story, not just with one person, but with the world at large, what would you have said to them?
Oh, I would have said that's impossible because when you're in that deep pit, I call it, you don't see the light. You don't see like there's a way out. But now I can't say I'm fully out, but I'm not where I was 2 years ago. I can see there's a light in the tunnel, and that's what I would love to share with the readers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you, Paulette, I mean, at that time, it was a difficult period. Again, if anyone had said you would be standing strong today, 2021, you're sharing your story with the world, what would you have said to them?
Shut up. Not really. I would have been so rude. But when you're going through, I so can resonate with what Faith said about that tunnel. You're in this dark tunnel. Everything seems to be pressing down on you like a heavy load. Everything is dark. You cannot think straight. You're almost crying out for, refuge, rescue. Stop, stop. Give me a chance to catch up. But the world just keeps on going anyway. But in the midst of your tunnel, it's as if the morning cannot come. You're reliving that midnight, and you wake up, it's midnight. You go to bed, it's midnight. And if anybody had talked to me about writing a book at that time, I couldn't even take that in, because all I could do was just hang on in there, keep on putting one foot in front of the other, trying to make it through this season that I was in, or that season, that moment by moment. It was very heavy, very dark, very tough.
And it was literally step by step, just learning to
Step
put
by
one foot
step.
in front of the other.
step by step, not not even contemplating giving up, because contemplating giving up, that in itself would have been just too much to bear.
Yeah.
So you just keep going
Mhm.
and hoping that you'll get to the light eventually.
Yeah.
Very difficult.
And that's the thing, that difficulty is the thing that stops us from growing and going forward, you know. And we really are blessed to be in this position where we've been able to turn our pain into purpose, if you like.
Indeed.
So if there's anyone out there who similarly might be thinking, I've got a story to share, but I cannot for the life of me begin to think how, where, what would you say to them, Paulette?
Share it. You will not know who you'll be touching.
Mm,
You will not know who needs to hear your story, to hear that you have gone through something similar, because they might be on the verge of quitting. And your story could be just that one thing
mhm,
that causes them to hang on and say, if Paulette can make it, if Faith can make it, if Simone can make it, then I have a chance to too. So it is worth sharing. You never know.
absolutely. You know, you remind me of one of my favorite sayings. It goes along the lines of, you can't quit now because you just never know who you're inspiring. And that has always stuck with me. First time I heard it, I couldn't quite wrap my head around it because, you know, you're going through whatever it is you're going through. You're not even thinking about
Yes,
who might be observing you, where you're just
that is
navigating life. Do you know what I mean?
True.
You're not thinking about that other
absolutely.
person or people.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
you can't because you just do not know. You just do not know who you're inspiring, who you're motivating, who's looking at you and thinking, my God, I didn't think Paulette can deal with that. Oh my goodness, look at Faith.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
powerful.
yeah. And that is absolutely correct, because since then, people who have said to me that there were times when they felt like quitting, but they remembered me. And I'm going, oh my gosh,
Okay,
I had no idea
exactly.
that so many people were watching, so many people were depending on me to make it.
There
Not
you,
necessarily at that time, but years later when they were going through,
there you
they
go.
remembered me.
Mm, powerful,
So
powerful.
everybody has a story, and every story has a purpose and can, just energize and bring hope to somebody.
Absolutely.
True.
Faith, how do you feel about that? I mean, if there are people out there with doubts, you know, the voices that go on in your head, why do you want to write about your story? Nobody wants to know about your story. What would you say to them?
Yes, so just as you've shared, I was sitting here thinking about a beautiful orange tree, and that orange tree does not need the oranges. It's for other people to enjoy the fruits. I know this is pain. We're talking about difficult situations, but when we talk about them, when, like Paulette has said, when people see you go through these difficult times and you've gone past that, it will bring a lot of hope. I can think of countless times when I've seen other people go through things, and that has given me hope. So,
Mm,
by them reading what I've gone through, I can only imagine that people will be hopeful and hopefully come out of a lot of pain.
yeah, amen.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
will, they will. We'll hear
Yeah.
that. They really will.
Mhm.
So, what next for Faith? What is now on the agenda?
Simone, writing this book has just opened up a lot of opportunities for me, in that the things I thought I could not do, now I can see possibilities. Because I thought I would never be a writer. Yes, I knew I wanted to write, but because I thought there's no way this would ever happen, now this has happened, there's no stopping me. I've got to do everything else that I've ever held back.
Love it. Love it. Well, that's a
Yeah,
great thing,
yeah,
isn't it? It just gives you so
yeah.
much confidence. That's what I loved about it.
It does.
And that was why
Yeah.
instantly it just resonated with me because I was already on that path of writing and stopping, starting, and I knew I needed some kind of boost. And with this, the way it's set up, the team behind the Navigating Life Anthology, they're also amazing, so supportive. And, we had no choice but to jump on board because they just made it so easy, right?
They did, yeah.
It's fantastic. Fantastic. What about you, Paulette? What's next on the agenda for you?
Well, for me, I have a book, a motivational book for women, Women Arise, Pearls of Wisdom for Woman Power. And that will be published, launched, and everything ready in September.
Wow.
So, yes, so that's my solo book this time. And believe me, Simone and Faith, now that I've started, chances are I'll be writing more. So it may be another book next year. This, an ambassador of hope, is as if I'm an ambassador of hope to myself, as
Mm.
as with Faith.
That's right.
It's just opened up possibilities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm
Yeah.
doing. I also I'm in the middle of basically putting together some coaching courses, programs for women, specifically for widows, hurting women, to help them navigate life and come out as ambassadors of hope themselves.
Exactly.
That's true.
So this has started, I think, something that's not going
Chain
to end right
reaction.
here. Absolutely.
For sure, for sure. This is
Absolutely.
it. The seeds have
Absolutely.
been planted and they're just going to blossom.
Absolutely.
Blossom and lead to blessings. Oh, I love it.
Mm.
I love it. Fantastic. Well, what I will be doing is also sharing your contact details, social media handles, Facebook, email addresses, etc. I'll be including that in the link below. So when viewers get to see the video and the information will be there for them to connect with you and to follow you on your journey, your respective journeys, Faith and Paulette. Thank you so much
Thank
once
you.
again for joining me on my platform, on my Eski channel. This is this is just the kind of thing that I had in mind when I started this YouTube channel,
Wonderful.
wanting to be able to engage and share and connect,
Yes.
inform, empower people
Absolutely.
because we need hope. We need to know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. We're all going through our respective
Yes.
journeys and challenges. And being able to, share this space with you today to get a little snippet about your journeys and your stories has been a true honor and privilege. So thank you once again.
Thank you.
It has
Thank
been
you, Simone.
it has been a privilege, Simone,
Oh,
and it will be my privilege to serve anybody going through any tough times who want to say, Paulette, come on, I've read your story, but give me the nitty gritty. How did you really do it?
indeed.
I am willing to basically help them along, encourage in any way
Yeah,
I can.
amazing. It's been a total privilege and honor serving you today. And as we know, all roads lead to the 31st of July,
Yes.
2021, when we will be launching the Navigating Life Anthology series. Guys, you do not want to miss that date. Save it in your diaries. It will start at 10 a.m. on Saturday, the 31st of July. Stay tuned. Follow us on our social media channels. There will be information coming your way in terms of maybe pre-ordering the books and ordering the books. And of course, once again joining us on the day, the momentous day, which will be 31st of July 2021 at 10 a.m. So again, all it leaves me to say is thank you so much, and I wish you all the best in your respective journeys. All that and faith. Have a good
Thank you.
what's left of it.
Thank you, Simone. Thank you. Thank you, Paulette.
Thank you
Thank
once
Bye.
again, Simone, and
you.
lovely meeting you ladies today again, my fellow ambassadors of hope. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.